And we're live. What is this, Lady Ada?
Hey everybody, and welcome to our Hangout. This is our show and tell that we do every single week at 7:30 p.m. We've been doing this for probably 5 years or so.
Forever.
We are so old. We are like the ancients. But you can show up any week and show off your project, whether it be your makerspace or your tools or your cosplay or your LEDs or your ham radio stuff, whatever it is that you're working on. We'd love to see it. It doesn't even have to be Adafruit stuff. We're just wanting to see what the community is up to. So show and share your project. We're going to call on some Adafruit team members first. To start us off, please mute your mics until we get to you. And then when we call on you, just unmute your mic and show us your project. And we have to get out of here about 7:50, 7:55. Just take about 3 minutes per person to show what you're doing. Let's start off with Tony D.
Hey, yeah, so I just wanted to mention I did a little live stream today with this guy, the Circuit Playground board. So I did a cool example of using the accelerometer on here that can detect kind of the orientation, actually detects the forces, but since gravity is a constant force down, you can figure out is the board tilted one way or the other. So turning that into mouse movement, because the processor on here can act as a USB mouse or keyboard really easily using some libraries in Arduino. So it's cool. You tilt the board and it moves the mouse around, and you can use the buttons on it because there are two buttons as your left and right mouse click buttons. So check out youtube.com/Adafruit. Not yet. I haven't uploaded it. So after today, it'll be up there, and check out that demo. And then the other real quick thing, I was at this over the weekend. So Tour Camp 2016, really cool event out in Washington State here. So awesome. It's kind of like part Burning Man, part Maker Fair, part Hacker Conference, just a lot of goodness. It's modeled after the European hacker camps, and they've nailed the spirit of them, although I've never been to the European ones. From what I hear, everyone is just really cool. It was all about sharing knowledge. And it's kind of cool because I remember way back in the 90s when, you know, the hacker scene was all about who's elite and who knows, you know, all the details, and they don't want to share anything, and all of that's changed. Everyone's open, everyone's cool about, you know, showing what they're up to. So a lot of fun stuff. If you can ever make it out, it's highly recommend it. They do it every 2 years, so the next one's 2018. So that's it. That's what I've been up to. Busy couple weeks or so.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Tony. I have a question, Tony. For the air mouse, did you use the two buttons as left and right, or how did you do button pressing?
Yeah, exactly. So you have to hold it with the USB cable up, and then that way I know which axes are left, right, and up, down, and then it just works out well that you've got your buttons on the left and right over there too. So yeah, there's a left button, right button, and they work just like the mouse buttons. It detects when they're down and when they're up, so you can like hold and click or double click or things like that.
Yeah, it looks like there's puck mice. You know what I mean? From that.
Yeah, exactly right. But you got to hold it in your hand. And I showed in the video you could play like I was playing Kaboom, you know, the Atari 2600 game, like games that use like one axis of the mouse. That could work well. You could maybe play Quake or Doom if you're crazy. You know, maybe tweak the sensitivity, but it might work.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thanks for the update,
right.
Tony D, and welcome back.
Thanks so much, Tony. Okay, now Pedro, what are you printing up this week?
Hey guys, just a simple one actually. So we put together just a simple enclosure for a NeoPixel ring, and you actually probably saw this last time we made a BLE feather lamp. So we upgraded this with an Adafruit feather, Huzzah, the ESP with ESP8266, and Lamar actually put together a sketch where it pulls some weather data from Yahoo's weather API, and Phil B wrote some awesome NeoPixel animation code. So right now there's a hurricane outside. No, there's not a hurricane outside. I was just playing with different animations to test them. But in the sketch, you can add your city, your time zone, and of course your state, and it'll pull the weather data and pick from one of the many awesome NeoPixel animations to display the weather. So it's scalable, so you can make this like really big. You can put as many NeoPixels as you want, which is pretty cool. But it's nice that since it's a feather format, it worked with the exact same enclosure from a couple months ago, like I was saying. And the case here is, or the cover is a little twisty top thing, so there's no screws in it. Well, there's screws in it, but not for the twisty top, and it's just like a little dual extruded top piece with white material and black PLA, and there's a circuit inside there.
It looks super pro. I mean, I feel like this is supposed to be like a Kickstarter video. Like...
Yeah, it could be. It looks really nice and polished. But I mean, look, the 3D printing enclosure is optional if you don't have a 3D printer. You could always just mount it on something or make it out of wood or something cool like that. But yeah, I figured I'd use a 24x NeoPixel because it fits in your hand and stuff. I have it on my desk every time before, like when I go to bed, and when I wake up I can see it. So I tend to have the blinds closed, but it works really nice.
Yeah, so. It's not too bright. And just kind of like it has like blue spots when it's raining and white when it's snowing, and then like if it's sunny, there's a yellow sun.
That's right.
And then like Phil B did kind of interesting UI stuff, like wind is shown by how fast things are moving. So if it's windy, like things spin very fast. So
That's right, and I've noticed it like changes the color. Like since it's nighttime, it's not as bluey. So in the daytime, it's a lot more vivid and more blue. So it's really intricate.
There's code in there that checks what time. It asks Yahoo what time it is, and then it uses that time to either make it bright or dark, depending on day or night. So
it's pretty cool.
For a lot of other projects too.
Yeah. So the code's up on GitHub, or it will be soon, and 3D printing case is up on Thingiverse and stuff. I put together a guide too, like just like how to solder it up together. So yeah, that's actually tomorrow's project. So that's it.
Awesome.
Okay.
We call it the Feather Weather Lamp.
Feather weather.
All right. Thank you so much, Don Pedro. All right. And since I see a youngster over there, Kenneth.
Kenneth and Kenneth's assistant.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yep. You sound great.
Okay. Great. Yes. This is Kenny, and this is Emmy, or Imelda. We call her Emmy.
Hey,
she
man.
just had her 5th birthday last week. I said, hey, you want to say hey?
Hello.
She-
Happy birthday, Emmy.
She's appropriately eating Jell-O. She chose to have a Jell-O birthday party, whatever that means.
That's
and so
fun.
Mother
Yum.
did all kind of Jell-O things, and saw a project on the internet where someone built a touch-sensitive organ where you push little puddles of Jell-O and it played different sounds. So she asked me if I could do that, and I said sure. So I ordered a capacitive touch board from you guys and your sounds, one of the stereo sound cards with WAV files programmed in it, and 3D printed a keyboard that I found on Thingiverse, but I edited it and put little reservoirs on each key so we could put Jell-O in the keys, and the screw below that is hooked to the touch-sensitive board, and all that worked well. And so Emmy, let's see, she's going to demonstrate, which, by the way, she's eating Jell-O because we were going to put some more Jell-O in the keyboard but decided not to, so she said she's not eating it.
The demo is edible.
That's
Here
good
is
science.
Emmy.
All right.
Here's the keyboard.
Oh, neat.
And so, just a second. So that was, we just had WAV files of notes we found on the internet, but I also put a switch so that we could change over to a different mode and play 24 or 12 different sounds. So show them that, Emmy. Just play one at a time. There you go.
That's cool.
Okay, they had so much fun.
Stop it. Okay. All kind of WAV files, different, sound effects, but
Yeah.
this song was the favorite, I think. But
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kenneth and Emmy. Make sure, Kenneth, to email support@adafruit.com, and we'll send you a sticker, a belated birthday gift. No, she should keep playing. It's awesome.
that sounds
Okay.
good. They're saying,
Thank you so much, Kenneth.
Okay,
That's great.
thank you.
Okay, next
Later.
up,
Enjoy the Jell-O.
Tim and Tim's hat. Unmute your mic and show us your hat.
Hello.
He has something else to show, not just
No, I think it's the hat.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I was on before to show you the hat, but I've made some improvements on this, and I made another hat that I want to show you. But anyways, this used to run off of a Flora, and it had your basic sketch that was out there that I think was a pumpkin that they put some faces on or whatnot. But I changed this to a blue fruit feather. And then I also put an accelerometer in it, so like when you move, the eyes are like moving with your body.
Ah.
That's nice.
And then I can do, stuff like this just to like broadcast,
I like how the eyes look at the text.
from my Bluetooth. So that's really fun. But the second hat I got is like pretty major here.
Another hat.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, cool.
So
Wow.
I've got 6 LED strands on each wing controlled by different pins. The face is lit up by an EL panel. And then I used your Teensy, I forgot what they call it. The eyes are controlled by the Teensy controllers, one of your sketches out there.
Yeah.
Put it all together for EDC that I'm going to this week. And will be walking around with this thing on my head.
That's so cool.
Amazing.
We're adding a new character to Circuit Playground, Minerva, the owl, because like that's the and that reminds me of.
It looks a lot like
It
her.
looks it reminds me of that because like owls are smart and like they you can do things their feathers look like electronics or like, parts and stuff. That's beautiful.
Thanks. It's running with the Bluetooth feather as well, Bluetooth feather, and I have it already up. And I'm going to change it to change the colors and whatnot. But there's 5 different sketches. I'm using the fast LED library on it.
Okay, well, take pictures from the event and send it to us, and also email support@adafruit.com, and we'll send you 2 stickers as seen on the show and tell. An excellent, cool project. Oh man, look at that.
I love how the eyes really make it. I know, you can tell it's a cardboard drawing, but it makes it look like a living cartoon. Like eyes do quite a lot when they blink and they move.
Yeah.
It really fools your brain.
I must have been like a little farm mouse in my other life because it's kind of freaking me out.
It's coming right at me.
No, I feel like I'm about to get eaten. Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Next, Obert, unmute your mic and show us your project.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
Excellent. Well, I just got to give you a quick backstory. So in 2010, I bought a parcel of land and have been working on a house for 6 years. I ended up contracting with a group that did the final bit of work over the last year. And as kind of an engineer background, I went a little bit crazy. I had them do geothermal, I've got wood heat, I've got what came with the house, a propane boiler here. And what I realized was they really weren't up to the complexity of what I wanted them to do. I really want to have it only turn on the propane boiler if there's no wood in the wood boiler. I only want it on in the winter. I want to make sure that this thing is completely shut down in the summer. And so I really wanted to automate this thing, get this thing hooked to the house. And I discovered it has like a funny little logo in the corner, which I've got covered up with tape, so it really won't show up. It's a German propane boiler. And the little logo with a little LED that shows when the power's on turns out to flicker. And it flickers because it's actually a serial port. It flickers in infrared, and it speaks in optical coupled infrared. And so I ended up buying from you guys a little proto board here, which hopefully shows up here. There it is. And I soldered some capacitors and transistors and little LEDs up here, and running it off of a Raspberry Pi that I got one of your little cables from. And sure enough, it took quite a bit of Google Translate to figure out the German, but I can talk to this boiler, and I can set the temperature, I can turn it on and off remotely. I ran some little thermometers up to the pipes on the walls. I haven't done all the programming just yet, but I'm super thrilled that I was able to talk to this thing.
That's amazing.
I have a question. Is the logo, is it output or input or both?
Both, yeah. I guess I could actually kind of show you here. It's got 2 little LEDs. I've got it all duct taped at the moment here.
Yeah.
Got these 2 little LEDs in here. One is for input and one is for output. And yeah, no, it was fantastic. I found that you can buy a cable online to do it, but the cable is only made in Germany. It costs 200 euros. They want 70 euros for shipping it. Meanwhile, I was able to stock up on solder, and I bought one of those little DSO Nanos oscilloscopes to figure out what the baud rate was, because I didn't have an oscilloscope. And anyway, thanks to you guys, for a fraction of the cost, I got my boiler online.
You speak boiler now. Congratulations. All right. Well, email support@adafruit.com, and you can use it as seen on the show and tell sticker to seal that right back up.
Yeah.
I actually like the idea of the IR because it's like a boiler is a high voltage device. Like you want something where if customers do connect to it, there's no risk of them.
Yeah.
There's you can't electrically damage it by connecting it backwards. It's just LEDs.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's neat.
It was definitely tricky though, because its ready signal is the number 5, and it would say 5, 5, 5, and I'd send it a signal, and I'd get back 5, and so I'd ask it what the temperature is, and it would tell me 5 Celsius, and I'd say, what is the temperature outside, and it would tell me 5 Celsius. It took me forever to realize exactly how the protocol worked. And
that's part of the fun.
If SETI works out and we get signals from aliens, I'm gonna send them to you.
Hopefully they speak 4800 baud.
Hopefully they speak boiler. All right. Thanks so much. Email support@adafruit.com, and you get your sticker. Scott, welcome back. What's going on this week?
Hey, thanks for having me. You can hear me, right?
Yep.
So I'm still working on all my business stuff. I'm starting an electronics company called Chickadee Tech, like the bird. And I just wanted to show off actually the first project that kind of got me on the hardware bug. It does have to do with quads, although I don't have a quad. So here's my like full breadboard, and what I was working on is a lap timing system for quadcopters. So like I said before, they broadcast this strong video signal constantly, and everybody you fly with has a slightly different frequency so that you don't clobber each other. So the idea with the timer is that it's a data logger. It logs the RSSI of the video signal over time, and then when you fly past it, that's your peak. And so you could time yourself for laps and stuff if you detect the time between peak to peak.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the old Huzzah board from you guys with the ESP8266, a micro SD breakout, and at the bottom here is the video receiver that I got from Banggood. You actually have to like open the shell up and remove a resistor so it talks SPI. So I did that, and that worked reasonably well. I did some tests with the micro SD card and managed to like do some analysis and get within like a second. It's definitely not perfect. So I got into Osh Park Purple, putting it on a board, and I used KiCad to do it. I actually found KiCad because you guys have an interview with, is his name Neil? He goes like Lane online, like the Osh Park guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they mentioned KiCad, and I was like just about to start learning Eagle, but instead I did KiCad, and it's been great ever since. The push and shove router has been awesome. So yeah, this is the production board. Basically, I stopped doing it because I ran into issues with, although the ESP8266 can be a host AP, it doesn't actually route between things that are on the network, and that was kind of the crux of it for me. Because I wanted
different networks, yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted you to have like 2 of these out in the field plus your phone on the Wi-Fi, but couldn't get it working. And then I came up with some cooler stuff that you'll see in a couple weeks.
Okay. And then is this the first time you've mentioned the name of the company publicly? It's Chickadee Electronics. Is that?
Chickadee Tech, as in technology.
Chickadee Tech.
Yeah. So if you go to chickadee.tech, that's the URL. It's a Shopify page with an email thing on there. You can get on my email list.
Okay.
I got pictures of the panels of all my boards this week, which is like super exciting.
Yay.
And manufacturing is happening in a week and a half, and I actually hope to do show and tell with the manufacturer in 2 weeks also.
Oh, great.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, I can tell you as a electronics merchant, it is fun to have a bird as part of the product stuff, because we just start to think of things like feathers and wings and like all that. So.
Yeah, can I show you like my logo? There's one of the boards.
Oh, that's super cute.
And that's the Chickadee logo that is on every board.
Are you sure you're going to use an Edison?
The Edison?
Yeah, is it an Edison connector or no?
Yes, it's a DF40.
You have to watch out with her. She's like, she has X-ray vision.
I know.
She sees into your soul and also your circuit diagram.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. If you're interested in the DF40, drop me an email and I can tell you all about it.
All right, sounds good. I'll sign up after I do the show.
Well, thank you so much, Scott.
Cool.
And we're looking forward to seeing you start your company and more. All right.
I'm excited too.
Yay!
And email us if you want a sticker.
Okay.
All right. All right, Boyan. Hello.
Hi,
how's it going?
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What you got this week?
Well, this week, again, it's the Arduino 101, but something that probably very few people know, the Arduino 101 actually has a neural network on it. Did you guys know that?
No. This is the first time I've heard this.
Yes. Arduino 101, the Curie platform, has built-in hardware, real hardware, which contains 128 neurons, each of them with 128 features, they call them. And it can implement 2 mechanisms. It can implement a radio-based function, and it can implement K and N. So both modes are available. So yeah, I actually knew the company which sold the technology to Intel. Well, license, effectively, didn't sell them. I didn't know that they have actually gotten their technology in the board, and just a couple of days ago, they contacted me and asked me if I can add the functionality in Visuino. And I said, "Oh, guys, you have the neural chip and the neural technology in the 101. Congratulations!" So I got down to work, and let me see if I can share the screen and show you how far I have gotten. And again, this is something I have been doing literally today and part of yesterday. But I got the basics. So if we select in Visuino, you should be able to see the screen, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So I selected the 101. And if we expand the modules on 101, now we have neurons module. And in the neurons, I can add a training functionality or operation. And I can add some features. So I will add 3 sliding windows features. And I will hook the accelerometer to them as example. And now I have another pin which is for training. If I connect it to one of the digital pins for clock, so basically now I can train for a gesture. I can shake the board as example, and when I click a button on, in this case I selected digital pin 4, it's going to learn that particular gesture. And in the training, if we look in my training, I can specify the category. So as example, I can have different gestures. In this case, I have selected gesture number 2, but I can add trainings for multiple gestures, and this way I can train this thing to recognize different type of gestures and stuff like that. So this is what I have been working on since yesterday pretty much, but it's almost completed for the next version of Visuino.
Okay. All right.
I didn't know that there was neural network
The
capability.
first self-aware Arduino, you're going to tell it to do a blink sketch, and it's going to say no.
That'd be interesting for wearables.
Yeah.
Like wearables that can do like sensor neural networks. Like
Yeah, that'll be neat.
you can learn from what you do with it.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yes, it can learn those things, and if you add like a microphone or something, it may be able to probably learn some simple phrases or something like that. Yeah, I'm just starting to experiment with it, and it sounds quite cool.
All right.
Cool.
Well, this is how it begins.
Neat. All right. Thanks for letting us know. I
right.
learned something today.
Okay. We're here every week. Thank you so much, everyone. If you're on the show and tell, email support@adafruit.com. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tim, and the nice owl hat.
A nice
Scott.
owl hat. Thanks,
Thank you,
Scott.
Noah and Pedro. Robert. Thank you, Kenneth and Emmy. And thank you, Boyan. And thank you, Boyan's Arduino.
I had a lot of new people this
Yeah,
time.
we had a lot of
That was
folks
cool.
here, and it was celebrating a 5th birthday with a Jello piano and a self-aware Arduino and an owl hat. We got a lot of
this
stuff going
is
on.
the sci-fi future.
Yeah, and we can communicate with boilers. I didn't know if you knew that.
I know.
And
Somebody should definitely write a good story that has the self-aware German boiler.
this is science fiction
the
right now.
Arduino 101 that can measure gestures, and a Jello artiste.
Yeah. Chickadee Tech, all these things.
And Chickadee Tech, which is friends with the owl hat.
That's right.
Which is alive.
Birds of a feather. And the feather was used in many of these projects. So, all right. Well, we're here every single week. We'll see you on Ask an Engineer at 8 p.m. And the show and tell is 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time every single
Perfect
week.
timing, 7:55. We're ready to do our next thing in 3 minutes.
Yep. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, 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 bing.